What if every experience, every hardship, every obstacle was given to you, not to break you, but to mold you and strengthen you? What if the center of your suffering was actually the key to ultimate health? And what if your own pain was meant to be the catalyst for your greatest purpose? Welcome to Buddha Belly Life, empowering purpose, mind to microbiome.
We have to acknowledge that a lot of our programming wasn't ours in the beginning. It wasn't ours. It's ours now. And that's how you take back your power. Because like when you're telling your story, I guarantee you felt you have a similar word to me as I did, powerless, because there's nothing you can do. Your only caregiver, your only source of, anything is unstable, then you are powerless to the effects and you're a child. And so we search so much for all this power. And when our body feels powerless, that is just so hard on the system and the nervous system, and the body will manifest that. And this is the point where, as we get into adulthood, we take all of our experiences, and I love what you're saying now, because I feel like it gives people hope. Yeah. Like one of the biggest things that I hear a lot, because I work with, obviously people I talk to people that are usually dealing with all kinds of, it's usually gut issues, right? That's usually where they got the gut issues, but they don't realize is that it's so much more complex than that. But that's what got their attention, is these gut issues or mental health. People really seek me out because of anxiety and depression. And so often, we have to talk about trauma or dealt with trauma. And I noticed that a lot of people just have this belief that they're kind of damaged from life, that we are damaged if that's been in our past, our history, if that was a part of our journey, if that was part of our initial childhood programming, that we are somehow screwed up or damaged, and that's just the life we live with now. What are your thoughts on that perspective?
That's a great question. You're not damaged. Everything that you have gone through in your life, and I can say this because I'm at the other side, I've had a roller coaster of a life. And I can hand on heart tell you that you are not damaged. Everything that has happened to you has happened for a reason, for some exponential growth. You decide whether it's going to take you down and you stay down, or you decide, this is going to be the catapult that I needed to take me to the next level of who I'm becoming. And when you start to realize that, you realize that you're not damaged. Your body doesn't get damaged. It becomes stronger. So there's this saying that once you've had pain, that you will have this heightened nervous system, and that you're not going to be able to withstand pain, and you're going to be weaker, and da-da-da. The truth of it is, your nervous system goes, okay, the last time, in order to get your attention, the body was having to scream. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep it hypersensitive so you don't go back to that state. It's not that it's damaged. It's a fail-safe mechanism that goes, when we had your pain levels here, you pushed it to here. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it here until you start listening. And the more that you listen, the more that we'll trust. The more that we'll trust, the more that we'll lessen your pain threshold. So it's nothing to do with that you're damaged. It's a fail-safe mechanism to make sure that you don't go back up here. So it's not about being damaged. It's about recognizing that your body's got to trust you again. It's got to trust you again, because you have ignored it for so long. That it's going, I don't know, let's test the water. Let's see if you're actually going to follow up. Are you going to eat the foods that you want to eat? Are you going to listen to your body? Are you going to feel those emotions? Are you going to be a sovereign being and stand up for what you believe in? Or are you going to allow yourself to be walked all over? Or are you going to go back to the junk food? It's not that you're damaged. It's just that the level of trust that your body has, it will allow itself to heal and go into that and relax and let go. You can heal from pretty much anything. I mean, I've healed myself from 3 autoimmune diseases. 3. So kidney, bowel, and thyroid. 3 autoimmune diseases. I've learned how to walk again 3 times. I've overcome disability. I've overcome depression, anxiety, PTSD, 2 nervous breakdowns. I run a successful pain clinic. I have online programs. I've won multiple awards. Am I any different to you? No, I just decided that the pain wasn't going to get to me and I wasn't going to allow it to rule my life anymore. That is what you need to know. You're not damaged. But if you decide you're damaged, you're damaged. If you decide that you're powerful, you're powerful. If you decide you're powerless, you're powerless. Whatever you choose, you will create the perception and you will create the life. It goes back to the reticular activating system. If you program that part of your brain to say, I am powerful and I'm strong and I'm becoming more powerful and more strong each and every single day. So you don't even have to own it in the beginning. You just say that to yourself, I am becoming more powerful and I'm standing in my strength each and every day. And you will start to create that life. You're not damaged. Please, anybody who thinks they're damaged, let that go, because that is going to stop you from expressing who you are in this world. And you're unique and beautiful.
Yes.
All of us are powerful. All of us are powerful. It's not just me and Brittany. All of us are powerful. Please know that.
Yep.
We're no different to you. Absolutely not. The difference is we worked out some things that most people don't. And we're communicating and we're educating and we're expressing this. That is the only difference. And it's taking action and holding yourself to your standards of what you want to live.
Do you have a desire for fulfillment? Does helping people tap into their own health mentally, emotionally, and physically fire you up? Do you believe in the impact of the gut microbiome on overall wellness? You may be an HWCA coach. For more info on our cutting-edge health coach trainings, visit hwcacoach.com.
I love the saying, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. If people seem like they're farther than you in something, it's not because they're above you, they're better than you. It's just because they're at a different place of the journey. And there was a time when someone needed to teach them how to fish. And they chose to learn how to fish instead of just, wait for scraps. They chose to learn how to fish. You got to choose to learn how to fish. And then there will be mentors, there will be leaders, there will be great souls that come your way. I mean, they'll just show up. They'll show up at the grocery store. They'll show up, you'll read a book, you'll do something and they will put into your life. It's not because you are inferior. It's because they are at a specific part of their journey where you are in front of them and you're someone that they are now teaching to fish, or they're giving something of their journey to you because someone has given something to them. Nobody who gives to you will not have a story about people who have been, instrumental in their process of becoming the person that they are. And so I love that. And I think, back to the power thing, one thing that I connected to, which I thought was interesting and funny, with that whole power thing, because I had this huge belief of I am powerless. And so I watched that I overcompensated in so much of my life, and I've done a lot of things because of it, and it's cool, but I didn't get emotionally and internally healthy until I approached it different. And now I do cool things in a different way with a different headspace. But it's funny because you ask, and like you say, if you're an empath or if you got that soul, if you've had pain of any kind, not just physical pain, but the pain, you can see it in other people very easily. And it's excruciating to watch. That's why a lot of people who have overcome something that they've suffered with tend to go on to help other people overcome as well, because it's heartbreaking to watch it replay out in front of you. And I realize is if you ever ask me what I do for a living, people will think, you're in gut health and all this. Yes, but I empower people, right? That's what I do for a living. And I've said that for a long time. We've deduced it down to that. I mean, it's really pretty basic. And interestingly enough, empower. So I had this thing with powerlessness. So I sought to find all this power, and I found it in a more healthy way, and it's still a journey. And what I do for a living is to help other people find their power. I mean, that is how simple it played out. And it was so funny the day that it all just kind of came together. And I stood back and I looked at this whole thing and I was like, isn't it crazy how we do that? Right. And I think we all do that. Like, look at you, Dawn. Like you were, inches away from literally taking your life and stopping, quitting the whole thing. And nobody can judge that because the level of pain that we endure on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, and then, all of that together, and to grow up with, we need our maternal caregiver. We need that. And even if if a child doesn't have a mom around, let's say, they weren't around, and a father could be a maternal caregiver. If they're all that's around, it's that level of nurturing. We need that to develop into healthy people, our brain development. So to go through all of that, missing those things, and then all of that adversity later in life, and have to really dig in and find yourself in your 30s in order to save your own life. That is an incredible, triumphant story, especially for people who think that they're just broken.
Yeah. And I thought I was broken, and and that's what had me want to end my life, because I didn't recognize who the hell I was, because everything that I was to please people and to gain power. Mm-hmm. None of that was who I was, and it had to die. But in death comes pain. Mm-hmm. But you decide whether there's suffering. Mm-hmm. Because pain is inevitable and suffering is optional. You decide whether you're going to suffer through it or you're going to rise through it. And that's what we help people do. Mm-hmm. We help people rise through challenges. And that's what empowering people is about. It's saying, you're not damaged. Don't give up. Get back up. You've just got to get back up one more time than you fall. That's it. And if you just focus on that, I've just got to get back up one more time than I fall. It takes that big, oh, this is too much. This is too hard. Don't focus on the future. Focus on the present moment. Can I get back up right now after this? And if you can't, that's okay. Allow yourself to just sit on the floor for a little bit. Allow yourself to just get yourself back, dust yourself off, get yourself focused on back what you want to create, and build yourself up. Don't tear yourself down. Because a big thing with people with chronic pain, and I feel it's really important that I share this, Brittany, is that when they have a good day, they push themselves to the extreme. And they push themselves so far that when they wake up the next day, they've got 2 or 3 days that they can't function and they can't do anything, because they've completely exhausted themselves. Mm-hmm. And their body needs that time to recuperate. Mm-hmm. But what do? Oh my God, I've done it again. I've pushed myself too far. My body's let me down again, blah, 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 blah. And they go on that victim cycle of beating themselves up. They're damaged. They're never going to get any better.
And they berate their body.
Exactly. And what I want for you to look at, anybody who's listening to this, is if you had a dog, a rescue dog that had been abused and beaten, it's going to be petrified. It's going to be shaking in the corner. Is it going to be powerful? Is it going to stand up and confront what's coming at it? No, it's going to cower in the corner. It's going to be scared. And that's what happens to your body. But if you love that animal and you hold it and you say, I love you so much and I care for you and I'm going to look after you and I'm going to nurture you and I'm going to help you be the dog that I know that you can be, you'll see that dog bouncing around and thriving, and it will forget about its past and it'll be a completely different dog. And that is the same with your body. When you have abused your body, it will forgive you and it will rise and it will forget about everything that's happened in the past, and it will let it go if you allow it to. And if you nurture and love it and take care of it and thank it for what it's already doing and what it can do, even though it's exhausted, it's still breathing, it's still keeping you alive, it's still having your heart beating, it's still allowing you to be able to digest food. And if you look at that and you're grateful and you're loving to your body, it will heal. It's not damaged. It's your perception that it is. My body is stronger now than it's ever been. And I've gone through all of that. And my body is stronger than it's ever been, because I know what it's like to lose it. And I've decided I want my body to be in the best shape that it can possibly be. And in that decision, it is. And so it is.
Amazing. Oh, Dawn, you're just a gift to this world. So for people that are looking to work with you or to follow some of the stuff you do, to read more about your stories, and, because a lot of people are going to resonate with this. In fact, I already have people I promised to send this to before it even goes live in the raw version, because I know how much your words and your story, I think, are needed today for them. But for everybody else, where can they find more of you? And if you have any final words to give everyone now's your moment for that too.
Yeah. So we have a couple of ways that you can reach out to us. We have a Facebook community called Heal Yourself, and that's healyourself.dc. And that community I give every week. I give a training, and it's all for free, because I believe that this information that I'm sharing today and what I share in my Facebook community should be taught in schools. It should be not. We should have been taught this. And we can't blame our parents, because they're just doing the best that they can. They didn't know this information. So I believe that giving the foundation of information to help people recognize that they can heal themselves, and that we're here to hold the space for them to trust and believe in themselves and empower themselves. So that's the first step. So you can come and join the Facebook community. The second is that I am in the process, and I will get all the links across to you. I've actually done so what I was talking about, the stages, I've actually written a small program, and I'm actually going to be giving that for free for your guests. And what they will actually get, which is amazing, this is going to be a program that's going to be sold to the community and sold to other communities. But for this podcast, what we've done is we've got the 6 stages. We've got the beliefs that you must overcome, the new beliefs that you install at each one, and 6 meditations that actually rewire your brain, release the tension, release the resistance of each of those stages. And this is worth $37, and that is cheap. And that's going to be probably about $100 by the end of the year. But I'm bringing that out. That's a new program that I'm releasing, and I'd love for your listeners to get that for free, just to get that foundational level in place, which is going to complement the work that you do as well. So that's my offer today. I would love for everybody to get access to that. It will change.
I'm going to promote the heck out of that. I think that's an incredible opportunity.
And this is exclusive. I'm not going to be giving this free to any other podcast. This is purely exclusive for Brittany's tribe.
See, you guys, don't say I don't have connections. Oh, Dawn, thank you so much. You, like I said, you are just a blessing to this world. And we'll also put all of her contact info in the show notes. So just thank you again, Dawn. And thank you guys for being a part of this incredible experience.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another empowering episode of Buddha Belly Life. For more information on gut health and mindset resources, visit buddhabellylife.com. And remember, heal yourself and then empower others to do the same.